and welcome to another episode of Historically Mart. I am Jason, and I am just outside Santa Fe, New Mexico, about not even 10 miles south of there. It's a little cold and wet today, but you know what to expect when you're in this part of the region. But Santa Fe was once part of Route 66 during its early years, from 1926 to 1937. A lot of Route 66 enthusiasts can choose two different ways. They can choose the way from Santa Rosa to Albuquerque, which passes through Klein's Corners or Moriarty, which I have traveled but didn't do any videos on for different reasons. And then you can also go from Santa Rosa all the way out into the desert, going north, and then going west to different towns like Las Vegas. Well, not into Las Vegas, but it takes you to Santa Fe, and then it goes back down to Albuquerque. So here's a historical marker that talks about Santa Fe's connection with Route 66. Here we go. And this is a roadside pullout for anybody who wants to view this marker. You are traveling an early alignment of US 66, perhaps the most well-known road to follow this historic transportation corridor. A Spanish mission trail to Pecos Pueblo, the Santa Fe Trail, and the National Old Trails Road all predate the Mother Road in using this narrow passage through rocky terrain. Until the 1930s, Route 66 was a line through downtown Santa Fe, exited the city to the southwest, traversed La Bajada, and passed through the famed Big Cut before descending into Albuquerque. In 1937, Santa Fe was bypassed and Route 66 straightened, creating a direct east-west alignment that eliminated 197 miles of travel. So there were a lot of politics involved and revenge, and I'll explain about that in a second. But if you look at the map, you know, of like all the alignments of Route 66 together, it does look kind of weird and funky how, you know, you have one way that's straightened, the other way that's really curved, you know what I mean? And then La Bajada, which is referenced here, that is about southwest of town. Before I came on this trip, I was like, maybe I should drive it. Well, come to find out, it is permanently closed to the public now. The Native American reservation that is on that land, they banned it from the public due to safety reasons, because back in the day when Route 66 passed through La Bajada, there were a lot of narrow and steep areas, and a lot of it, even back then, was deemed unsafe. So yeah, talk about evolution. So this is where the revenge part comes in. So the New Mexico governor at the time, Arthur T. Hannett, who was previously the mayor of Gallup, New Mexico, was aware of wanting to Route 66, the potential of, you know, making it straightways from Santa Rosa to Albuquerque. So some may say that he did this as a revenge because he was displaced from his 1927 bid for re-election by the party bosses in Santa Fe. And a lot of people saw this as revenge in an unexpected way. Hannett ordered that a state highway built from Santa Rosa to Moriarty, placing Albuquerque on the main crossroads of the state and relegating Santa Fe and Socorro to the backwaters. So unfortunately, as far as like Santa Fe and Route 66 landmarks, there's kind of little to none. But there are some very historical buildings, including the oldest church in the United States and many others, and some of them I have done separate videos on. But I'll show you some attractions, you know, while you're here in Santa Fe, you know, stuff to do, because yes, there is lots to do in this town. And by the way, Santa Fe is the oldest state capital of the United States, so you know just by hearing that quote that yes, you'll definitely find a lot of history. So all right, come with me. Most of the tourist activity is in the downtown part, where there is so much to see. 3 of these places I have done individual videos on, including the Palace of the Governors, the supposed oldest house in the US, and the Loretto Chapel. Next to the oldest house is the oldest church. Alright, so on the old Santa Fe Trail Street is this wooden marker. It says, oldest church structure in the USA. The original adobe walls and altar were built by Tlaxcalan Indians from Mexico under the direction of Franciscan Padres, dating back to 1610. And just right in front of the church's walkway, there's another marker. Welcome to San Miguel Church. Under the auspices of Fray Alonso de Benavides, OFM, this church was built by Tlaxcalan Indians from Mexico in the early 1600s. The original adobe walls remain under the stucco exterior. The church's roof was burned and destroyed during the Pueblo Indian Rebellion of 1680. After resettling Santa Fe, General Diego de Vargas had a new roof constructed in 1694. Repairs continued until 1710. A three-tiered tower was erected about 1830. In 1887, a single facade tower was built and the massive stone buttresses were added for support. In 1955, archaeological investigations were conducted in and around the church. Restoration of the beautiful altar backdrop was done that same year. So I can take you just as far as the entrance. Yes, we're worthy. Never heard of this guy, Dana Cooper. I guess he's a local talent. Mask wearing. Yep. That's okay though. Outside's better than nothing. Here's the left side of the chapel. As you can see, there are many tourists. Of course, I am one of them. There are several small shops and businesses downtown. Plus, you have the very popular restaurant, The Shed. And just look at all these amazing antiques. And what to expect from Santa Fe are several pieces of art, indoor and outdoor. During my visit to the city, I visited the Arts and Entertainment Gallery, Meow Wolf, which is right off Cerrillos Road, or Old Route 66. This is known as the House of Eternal Return.
I can't. I would have gone to there. I would have been like, I can't do this. Too much thinking. This is basically all garbage right here, turned into art. So this garbage is another man's treasures. Did you see that? Let me see what they were doing.
Let me play with some more. Here, let's see. Alright, now I gotta try this. Apparently the part tougher to make music. Yeah, this one's got multiple door knobs, but let's see this one. Oh.
This will ruin my finger.
Also on Cerrillos Road are some classic Route 66 spots, including at least 2 longtime hotels and the place I ate at, the Pantry. It has stood there since 1948, and it is nicknamed Santa Fe's meeting place. And also go on top of the city to Cross of the Martyrs, which is also the site of historic Fort Marcy. And while here, there are some markers here, but you can also get a nice downward view of the entire city. Alright, well, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. Alright, so, I mean, Route 66 did indeed pass here in its early days, but you just gotta know where to go, and but there are plenty of historical places here and places to shop. And if you really want to know, like, the roads to turn on and turn off, I highly recommend Jerry McClanahan's Easy Route 66 guide. But there are also other travel websites that show you the complete route of Route 66 through the Santa Fe Loop. So I am Jason, on top of the Cross of the Martyrs, signing off.